news on the arrest of Don Lemon.
Journalist Don Lemon has now been arrested. Former CNN anchor Don Lemon was arrested late last night on federal charges stemming from a protest at a Minnesota church earlier this month.
So this is the back window. Yep.
Federal agents took him into custody last night in Los Angeles, where he was covering the Grammys.
Don Lemon exited the federal courthouse this afternoon, ready to fight and defend his rights as a journalist.
This is a violent infringement of Don Lemon's First Amendment rights.
I haven't even written what I'm going to say yet. I'm writing it as we speak. I have spent my entire career covering the news. Hey, what's going on? What's happening? Huh? I will not be silent. Don't get me in trouble.
I knew you gonna say that. I ain't gonna get you, all right?
I'm good. I'm good.
You had me worried for a minute, man.
The Popo tried to get me.
Not trying.
They did.
All right.
Thank you.
The hand of scanning.
Gentlemen, Don Lemon. Stop it. Oh my gosh. So, wow. Hi. Oh my gosh. So what's going on in the world? You guys are gorgeous. Oh my gosh. So, it's going to be a little different tonight because usually I start here like an anchor desk like I did at CNN or whatever, and as I do on my show every day, even though I'm not behind an anchor desk, and I give a little monologue, right? And usually it's prepared. I write about what's happening in the news and current events. But since I am a current event, I decided I was going to do something a little bit different. I was going to come out here and talk to you guys about my week. Would you like to hear? So it's a little bit odd to sit here and be so vulnerable. I was telling the guys backstage that, you know, when I worked in corporate media, when I worked at CNN, if there were no words, nothing in the prompter, there's nothing prepared, the show blew up, I was never nervous. I was like, all right, let's go, cut the camera on and I'll just talk about whatever. I don't really need it. But this I'm a little bit nervous about because, because it's, thank you. Because it's a very vulnerable and compromising position that I've been in over the last week. No scripts tonight. It's just me, and I don't know what I'm going to say because I've had one hell of a week. Also, I have had no sleep. I was on the red eye, and they canceled the red eye. It was the last flight out. So we slept on the floor of LAX. And after being locked up, incarcerated. And when someone else is in control of your freedom and they can take it away, especially if you've done nothing wrong, it's not just a problem for me, it's problematic for. I'm a soldier, right? And as James Baldwin says, I come from strong peasant stock that built bridges and dug dams in the teeth of the most terrifying odds, achieved an unassailable dignity. And so I come from that peasant stock. And so as this whole week made me think about where did that insistence come from? And that came at the knee of my grandmother, who was my nanny growing up. And she would walk around the house and she would sing spirituals and fight songs. And she'd be cleaning, right? And she'd be on that old trimline telephone that was yellow as the color of the lemon yellow, just like that on the Don Lemon Show shirts. Thank you. And she would have on that, she'd have that thing and it'd be wrapped around the kitchen and she'd be singing and she'd be on the phone and then she'd hang up and she'd be singing, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no jailhouse turn me around, turn me around. Turn me around, ain't gonna let no jailhouse turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to what? Because the truth will set you free. And we're living in a time where they don't want the truth because they don't want us to be free. Right? But that is not going to stop me because I'm not going to let nobody turn me. And it's not, the folks, the grammatical perfectionists will say around, but our people said turn me round. So you're not turning me round. I'm just going to keep on walking and keep on talking. So 2 weeks have been a little bit frightening. It started in Minnesota that I decided to go to Minnesota kind of at the last minute. I was supposed to go to Chicago to MC the Dr. King breakfast for the Rainbow Push Foundation. You know the Rainbow Push Coalition. Reverend Jesse Jackson's organization. And I had worked in Chicago as an anchor. That's how I got to know Barack Obama. He was a state senator when I was there. And he would come into my station. He had these shoes that had holes in them and his one suit, and he was all skinny and very smart, but very sensitive about news reports and criticisms. Don, why'd you let them say that? I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Obama. And he was a state senator. And so I used to, when I worked in Chicago, I would get to introduce him and his wife because I would be the MC. Because, I was a news anchor. I'd come in my suit and say, ladies and gentlemen, Barack and Michelle Obama, and I would sit down, they'd forget about me, and they'd be all over them. So I got to watch his rise, and so Chicago was a big deal for me because when I got to CNN, it was Barack Obama threw his hat into the ring to run for president. And I was like, well, I got this because I know Chicago. So that was a very good moment for me. So it was like going home, and I said, so I am going to, since I'm going to be in the Midwest, I need to go to Minnesota, and I need to report and show people what's going on. And so I went there with the idea to report and be a journalist, and that's it. And so I just showed up there and I said, well, who's out doing stuff? Can I go to a black church in the morning and see what's going on, right? Because we want to know what's happening. You want to know what's happening, go to the black church. And so one of my friends, or not friends, but someone I knew looked for something. They didn't find anything, and they said, well, this person's doing a protest. Go follow them. And so that's what I did. And they just happened to be going to this place, this church, to protest. And so I followed them in and I reported. And then I was shocked by the time I left there. I was only there for like 6 or 7 hours. And by the time I left there, I went to the airport. My flight was delayed 3 times. They had been on TV and all over the internet saying that they wanted to arrest me for barging into a church and causing a ruckus. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't organize anything. Like, what is going on? And so I didn't take it seriously. I went and I did the breakfast in Chicago. I got there like 1 a.m. And then afterwards, the drip. And then they really started talking about arresting me. And so one of my dear friends and part of my advisory board, so to speak, and I like to call it my board of directors, is my dear friend Allison. And she is a PR professional and marketing professional. And she said, I think we need to get it together because if this happens, you need to be prepared. And so that's the thing that, for me, it's tough, but I think about all the people out there who don't have agency, the agency that I have to have people like that in my life, to have the resources to be able to somewhat, take care of some of this. I think about all the people, whether they are documented or undocumented, and they say, oh, we're just going to go and come with us and we're going to check your papers to make sure that, and then they end up either in a facility somewhere across the country or deported out of the United States, and their families don't know where they are. And that's the thing that I am committed to reporting about. And that's from that perspective of someone who has some agency and knowing that other people don't. That's my motivation, is to be the voice for the people who don't have a voice, to be the agent for the people who don't have agency. And that means shedding light on the situation. That's how I can do it. And so I am not a protester, but I am insistent on the First Amendment, because that's the bedrock. You can applaud for that. The First Amendment is the bedrock of our democracy. Without the First Amendment, nothing else stands, because it's a way that we test ideas in our country. It's a way that we test policies. It's a way that we hold people who in power to account, that we hold the rich, the oligarchs to account. And in this day and age right now, they don't want that, because the wealthiest of the wealthy are now, the oligarchs are now gaining control of the news organizations. And, ooh, wow. And they are bending the knee to the administration, because what do they want? They want the control, they want the power, and they want the money that goes along with it. And if you can control the message, you can control everything. And you don't have to worry about democracy. And if you look at any place, any country, any country that has lost its democracy, what's the first thing that they get rid of? The media, the press, journalists. And that's what's happening now. So corporate media has been neutered, and now they're coming after independent folks like me. And so that's why I am so heartened that you guys are here. I can't believe that people show up to see me. I can't believe that when I left corporate media, I wondered if anybody would even care. And say it again. Lemonheads. I wondered if anybody would even care. And look, my boss, who I love, and my mentor is here tonight. Jeff Zucker's here. And hi, Jeff. And this man has believed in me for the entire time that I've known him. And he just knows how, he knows what's right. He knows journalism. He knows how to run institutions, and he knows talent. And not everybody knows that. And so when I left corporate media, he said, "You're going to be fine. You just have to work hard." And I thank you, Jeff, for believing in my talent. Thank you, Allison, for always having my back. And also, do we have the song that I want to play? If you guys have seen what happened this weekend. Are you guys ready? Okay, play it. Do you want to stand up, babe? Stand up, babe. Come on. That's my bodyguard right there. That's my bodyguard. And so, look, I don't know how you guys feel about whatever you feel. Love is love. And if you are not in love with someone who is going to come get you out of jail like that man, then you need to get you somebody else. Because when he showed up, I was like, oh, if I should stay. Okay, Frank Farmer. And what was it, Rachel? I forget. What was her last name? I forget. Marin. Rachel Marin. Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for all of your support. And I will never lie to you. Hopefully I will never let you down. And I'm going to keep on reporting. The reason that I'm doing this is because independent media is because I want to be closer to the action and closer to the ground. And I want to make sure that we have a democracy on the other side of this bullshit that's happening in Washington, okay? Now, I don't want Tim to get jealous. However, there's another man in my life. He doesn't play like that. He's got a wife and he has kids, but let me just say, I believe in this day and age where we are now that you can get information, valuable information from many different sources. And I believe that the truth is often spoken in jest. And people, you can soften the beach with humor. And I learned a lot from this man. And we're going to tell you about our journey because we weren't always together. Not at always. But I love him like a brother. And so, the original king of comedy. When DL and I talked about this, I was like, no, who's going to come see us? Nobody's going to come see us. I got arrested. I got out. I called Grace like a day later. And I said, well, what's going on with the tickets? Like jokingly. And she said, oh, we moved 300 tickets in 3 hours. And we're sold out at both venues, on both nights. And I was like, oh. And she said, you should get arrested more. Mr. DL Hughley!
Okay. One more time, Don Lemon, give him some, y'all. Turn that on. Old niggas getting up, getting ready to hurt their hips. Old people dance, they miss work the next day. What happened to my Achilles? I have to say, it's not the first time I've been on behind a nigga that went to jail, but it's the first time he got such a loud reception. I'm like, we started out on tour together, and I gotta say, it started off organically. And if you'd have told me that one of us would have got arrested in LA, I would have thought it would have been me. How this motherfucker get fired, get arrested, and get a book deal? I'm just like, most niggas just get booked. It's just, we live in weird times, man. Do you know more motherfuckers got arrested for reporting on a protest than molesting children? That's the thing. And I think this all happened, man. Let's be clear, man. Donald Trump is in the Epstein list. He's listed in that list 35,800 times. That's more than Jesus was in the Bible. And that's his daddy's book. And let me say something about those protesters in Minneapolis. Them the kind of white people you want. They out there, goddammit. They ain't bullshit. They fighting authoritarianism in 0 degrees weather. Like, I love black people and I'll fight for y'all, but it gotta be warm though, goddammit. If it's minus anything, it's minus me. What you mean? I've been to the mountaintop. Was the heat on? No? Did you see that? The most powerful men in the world. I think the reason America's not shocked because we're used to powerful white men doing shit like that, man. The rape and pedophilia, man. I'm not saying black people didn't have pedophiles, but they didn't have no fucking ring. They got, these people got resources. Private jet and a private island. Our pedophile just waited for your mama to fall asleep. Just, surprise, surprise. I don't want to play anymore. You know, 75% of Americans registered sex offenders are middle-aged white dudes. Now, black people, we say fuck them kids, but y'all do it. Like, shit. And this administration lies so effortlessly. Christine Nome, man, I guess if you wear that much makeup, you are definitely not acquainted with the truth. I know that shit. That makeup is thick, too. I don't know if it's foundation or spackles. She don't go to the Mount Counter, she go to Home Depot. Let's see. And I gotta say, I hope Bad Bunny don't say shit in English. Not one goddamn thing. I hope he don't say shit in English. Nothing. I don't understand Bad Bunny. I don't understand RFK, and he got a job. I know he needed a Secrets or a lozenge or at least one go. Every time he talk, I want to play "Let Me Clear My Throat." How does a motherfucker that been on heroin for 15 years tell you Tylenol bad for you? You really got to watch what you be putting in your body, cause you'll. My favorite shit all last year was watching Donald Trump try to say acetaminophen, and I just take Motrin. It's amazing, man. 50% of Latins voted for this shit. That's what I don't get. I thought they were gonna arrest the criminals. When you black or brown, your skin is the crime, motherfucker. That's what it is. They want to arrest all of Mexicans. This is a rough time to have an accent. If you got an accent in America and you see an ICE van close by, I suggest you start using sign language. Because if you roll your R's, ICE rolling up. Did you say Ricardo? I said Earl. They got our Latin brothers and sisters shook, man. Matter of fact, this May was the emptiest Cinco de Mayo I've ever seen. I'm like, where's the motherfucker with the corn and the mayonnaise at? I want some of them mangoes with the red shit on it. What? They got Puffy, Bill Cosby, and R. Kelly. They done fucked around and arrested the 90s. I'm like, shit. If you ever been on 106 in Park, you going to jail, shit. And some of the shit they indicted Puffy for, I had no idea was even a crime. I didn't know it was a crime to take a woman across state lines for the purposes of having sex. I didn't know that was a felony. I always thought that was an anniversary. I'm like, shit. Well, baby, we're going to have to fuck at home because I don't want to go to jail. Puffy been Puffy, P. Diddy. In my experience, any man that changed his name that many times had done a lot of shit wrong. Where I'm from, we call that an alias. Is this you? Not no more. That was... You see the evidence they had against him? 800 dildos. Look at all the women. No wonder my Amazon order late. This nigga got all the dicks. Allegations of drug and women, that's the propulsive. I love pussy like every man here, but I ain't gonna drug no woman to get it. Because I came from the era when lies works. Remember that? You remember when you could lie and get some pussy? Like a roofie ain't got shit on, I love you. Just let me put the tip in. Just the tip. You promise to pull out? I promise to pull out. Did you come at me? I would never do no shit like that. By the way, happy belated Mother's Day. Fucking with people who ain't age appropriate gets you in trouble. I think age appropriate, you gotta fuck with people. Like, I think you should fuck with people that's on the exact same medication you are. That's it. I don't even like young bras. I like old bras. If you got a period, I ain't fucking with you, period, goddamn it. I like stretch marks and hot flashes. That's my shit. That's the new song to me. Ooh, daddy, I'm hot. Me too, bitch. Me too. Go get one of them ashwagandas and we gonna lay down here. What if I get pregnant? Well, that baby will be in the Bible, won't it? Come on. Come on, Deuteronomy. Let's go see Ecclesiastes. It's also a bad time to be a CEO from a healthcare company. Man, they murdered one in this very city in the middle of the streets of New York. Nobody gave a fuck. They asked the only witness, what did you see? He said, justice, motherfucker. That's what I saw. If you gonna fuck with people's deductibles, you better learn how to deduct. Because karma is a pre-existing condition, too. If you do shoot a CEO, do not take your ass to McDonald's. Them niggas snitch. Go to Popeyes. Everybody in Popeyes fighting the case. Have you seen the suspect? Bitch, you want a two-piece or not? I ain't got time for this shit. I'm on the work release program. I'm so glad that government shutdown is over, man. I think America really was under the impression it was only black people on welfare. We saw all them white people in the snap line. We're like, oh, snap. They thought EBT was a new way to say nigga. How the fuck we the face of welfare? We ain't never got treated well or fair. People forget the current president of the United States of America, J.D. Vance, he was on welfare. He wrote a book called Hillbilly Elegy about growing up in the Appalachian Mountains as a hillbilly, and the story was full of poverty and violence and drug abuse. And if you don't know what a hillbilly is, hillbillies are niggers who grew up in the mountains. Appalachia is the Compton of poor white people. And they don't even know how to be poor. That made me so sad, man. They missed one check. Them motherfuckers in the food line. I hope they don't run out of Mountain Dew. One thing, black people, we know how to be poor. We ready for it. Because we got deep freezers. And if you don't know what a deep freezer is, it's a freezer. You put it in the garage and lay it on the side. And you put everything in it, hot dogs, batteries. It's the overflow for the refrigerator. Daddy, this lasagna 5 days old. Don't throw it out. What I'm gonna do with it? Put it in the deep freezer. It's hillbillies starving in Appalachia. I'm glad that Corona's over. Remember a couple years ago when outside was closed? You heard that shit on, they done fucked around and closed outside. White people, y'all some bad motherfuckers. You can't go outside. Why? It's closed. I gotta call you back. They done closed outside. Where you at? Inside. Outside is closed. Remember during Corona, church was closed, but liquor stores was open, huh? You can Zoom Jesus, but not Jack Daniels. The Lord's a shepherd, but he ain't a bartender. I know that shit. If you gonna make us stand with our kids, we got to get fucked up. And parents are ready for kids to go back to school now. We don't give a fuck if they got the vaccination or not. We didn't have enough of these little bastards. I didn't get the shot. Well, take your chances. Let's see. We don't know. No way in hell our parents will let us stay home for a year. I don't give a fuck what was going on. It's a pandemic. We'll put on 2 t-shirts. You getting the fuck out of this house. Talking loud in my kitchen. You gonna make my cake fall. The cake fell. Don't throw it out. Put it in the deep freezer. That vaccine was controversial. 2 groups that are worried about the vaccine were white people who believed the government might do something to them, and the other is black people who knew the government had done something to them. We didn't fuck with that Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Like, the baby powder niggas? Hell no. Let the makers of Hot Cheetos make my vaccine. I hate it when celebrities said dumb shit about the vaccine. Wendy Williams said, I ain't gonna take it. I don't trust what's in it. I'm like, bitch, ain't you on cocaine? Like, who takes their medical advice from a crackhead? You don't trust Merck, but you trust man. I got so tired of people with their stupid ass conspiracy theories. What if they put a chip in me? Why? You ain't working, you don't go no goddamn way. You don't even need a chip. We can drive by and see you on the porch. There he go, right there on the porch. We have wasted a chip. They might change my DNA with it. You won't owe child support. My cousin works at the CDC. Your cousin sweep the floors at the CDC. Now, if the vaccine was made out of Fabuloso, we'd ask your cousin's opinion, but it ain't. And black people love Fabuloso. What the fuck is that shit all about? Man, your house smell good. Fabuloso! You gotta get the purple kind. Look at the Mexicans. We can't have shit. Why don't you niggas go back to Pine Sol? And if you're gonna boil your Fabuloso on the stove to make your house smell good, at least rinse the pot out. I am so tired of your spaghetti tasting like Fabuloso. How is it? It is delicioso. Is this the purple kind? Now they want to kick all the Mexicans out of America, the hardest working people in this country, man. All I know, if they ever kick the Mexicans out, I'm going with them. Fuck y'all. I'm not going to pay $800 for a strawberry. Fuck that shit, you know. You know white people ain't going to help in the field. Oh, my God, it's so hot out here. Jesus Christ, has it always been this hot? How do you say I'm sorry in Spanish? Fabuloso. Ay, Dios mío. Immigrants are lazy. Oh, yeah? Well, how come you always arresting them at work? They're taking all the jobs. Name of the job you see a illegal immigrant doing. You go, I should be doing that shit right there. I want to pick grapes for $3 a year. As a black man, I'm only upset with the illegal immigrants. They didn't show up early. Had they got here doing slavery, we'd have got some time off. Just like, oh, Javier, thank God you got here when you did. He was just about to hit me with that whip. Oh, my God. Look, Master, he worked much harder than us. I'm going to see you on Monday. Happy 2nd de Mayo. Dame más gasoline. We want all the Muslims out of America. That's fucking dumb. Ain't no more American doctors. Matter of fact, if your doctor speak English, that mean your insurance ain't shit. Nobody in my doctor's office speak English. I gotta get Rosetta Stone to fill out my prescription. This is from Dr. Are you sure that's how you pronounce his name? It says right here. My doctor's name look like the last line of an eye chart. I'm gonna need to buy a vowel. I can't say this shit. Hello, nurse, is Dr. in? He won't be in all week, but Dr. Blah, 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 blah. I took a taxi to my doctor's office. He walked out. I'm like, motherfucker, didn't you just drop me off here? How the fuck are you a cab driver and a cardiologist? Is it? It's never made sense for Americans to ever be afraid of Muslim when the most dangerous thing in America is, and there's always been other Americans. More Americans have been murdered by Americans than have died in every single war we've ever fought combined. So ISIS ain't got shit on us. I ain't scared of no Muslim. I'm more concerned about a white dude that was recently laid off. Oh, I'm fired? I'll be right back. In Jesus' name. What would Jesus do? In America, duck. I don't know a lot about the Muslim faith. I can tell you this, they're very fervent in belief. I was in this city, New York, a couple of years ago, man. I left my bag in the brand new Louis Vuitton bag in the Uber I was riding there. Called the driver repeatedly. Finally got him on the lane. Name was Ahmed. I said, Ahmed, I left my bag in the car. I need you to go check. He said, I'll do it after sundown. I said, why would you wait till after sundown? He told me he was a devout Muslim. He was celebrating Ramadan. After the sun went down, Ahmed found that bag, took it right to my apartment in New York. Now $1 was missing. Ahmed refused to take a reward. He told me that the tenets of his faith would not allow him to take money for a thing he should do for his fellow man for free. Now, a Christian would have kept that goddamn money. A Christian would have opened that bag up. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? He may not come when you want him to, but he always right on time. Now I got my bag back on Ramadan, but I would have got it back on Easter. That would have been a testimony. Can I tell y'all how good God is? He is able. God sent me to the Gucci store. All you could do during the quarantine is watch Netflix. I saw Surviving R. Kelly. I was a big R. Kelly fan, but I got daughters. I can't buy no new R. Kelly music. But that old shit, I'm gonna play. Fuck y'all. That's a talented pedophile right there. Them pedophiles make the best music. I know you fuck with kids, but this chocolate factory, though, shit. He was a talented man, but his songs have been the soundtracks of our life. We got married to his songs, had kids to his songs. America, how can you sing songs about such a terrible man after all the horrible things you know he's done? Well, the same way we can sing the national anthem, motherfucker. That's how. I'll stop fucking with Michael Jackson when y'all stop fucking with Andrew Jackson. We love America. We raise any level of objection. You're not, if you're not happy here, go back to Africa. Motherfucker, don't you know you cannot return stolen goods? You can't. Put your hands together for Don Lemon one more time, ladies and gentlemen. That's it.
You're crazy.
You know what? Why don't you sit down? I got to do something for you, man.
Before I make my drink?
Yeah, come on now. You
want me to sit down?
Don't sit down, nigga.
Uh-oh, what's going on? And was that a hard R?
So we have something for you, in lieu of what you're going through this year. Jasmine, why don't you bring this out, this gift that we all got for Don.
Oh, it's here somewhere.
Where's it at? Where's it at? Bring it out here. All right, this is Jasmine Sanders. She work on the radio with me,
Jasmine.
man. Yeah, that's it. Here it is, Don. Thank you, man. This is honor of all you've been through, man. Right? Just take a look at that, baby boy. See what's happening. Go on, open it up for yourself. Just. Jasmine Sanders, everybody. You know, why don't you put it on, baby? You got to put it on. Put it on.
My PR person is like, no.
I have to say this to you. Now, you are a trained a journalist, and your mantra is usually to report the story, but all of a sudden you've become the story. What does that feel like right now?
Well, I've never had a story get me arrested before.
No.
I've had people threaten to arrest me, like for trespassing or that kind of thing, but nothing like this. What does that feel? It's weird. I can't really explain it. When I was on Jimmy Kimmel last night, and he asked me, he said, "How are you doing?" And I said, "I don't know," because it's a place that I've never been in before, and
I have, nigga. Let me tell you something. It's I'm just so glad it wasn't me. I'm so goddamn glad.
wasn't me.
But it has to be something because you are only doing what it is. That's just one vacation. And I think that we have a tendency to believe that our norms will protect us. We always talk about the Constitution, but it's really just a piece of paper.
Right.
And it could be either one that elevates or toilet paper.
Yeah.
And I think you are in a position right now where, I don't think people ask for things like this to happen to them, but now it's here. And I know you feel as if something's. What do you think is different between the way you were trained to do journalism and what's going on right now?
What do you mean, like the new media, or what do you mean?
Well, there is no new media. There's when people say mainstream media, well, conservatives own all of that. And when we talk about independent media, the only people who are independent are people who work for themselves.
Yeah.
And it is the first time we got an unvarnished look at what they were seeing as opposed to a corporate vantage point.
Right.
So now we are actually seeing what you're seeing in real time, and that's got to me. I think the images are bracing because I think they've always been sanitized before.
Right. That's the thing. They don't have control. Usually they can sort of control the images, or the images are, sanitized, as you say, but they're not sanitized anymore. And I think that's the big fear. And the less that you have between, the images coming out or the words coming out or the story coming out, then I think that's better for the public. And I think that, obviously the powers that be, they are fighting that and fighting it and fighting it.
Why?
I think it's
Why
inevitable.
do you think it is?
Why? Because they know that if, as I said in that church, if that's on video, if these two groups could just get together, they could end up solving this because they have more power together than they do separated. And that's what they don't want you to realize, is that the power that black people and white people, poor people, all have, if we get together rather than them, they want us divided.
Right.
Because that division keeps them in power and it keeps them rich. So that's why I think they're fighting.
If you pour...
And also they're racist. I mean, come on.
But I think what this country has yet to accept is that if you poor in America, you a nigga. Yeah. I don't think that's a term of your parole. Hey, don't get me in the picture with him. I can't go to jail, nigga. I'm not doing that.
You saw I wore long pants and socks tonight because, I got to hide my bracelet.
But I think people don't understand. Like I've heard a lot of influencers recently, influencers that were integral in what is happening, who have now started to come around. I never thought it could happen here, and the thing about black people is, if you got to realize, 92% of black women voted against this. 85% of black men voted against it. And most college-educated white people voted against it. So a dude who went to Harvard voted as the same way as a dude who lived on Harvard. Right. And we saw something they didn't. And I think the thing that enrages me the most, how do you get to be surprised? Like, you get to be surprised. And we told you what would happen.
I don't think it's not a surprise. I think people are still in denial. Like, they didn't believe that something like this would happen. They didn't believe that they would arrest a reporter for reporting. They don't believe it. It's just like it's sort of a thing in their head. Like, everything's going to go back to normal after this administration is gone.
But this is normal.
That's what I mean. This is the new normal, and this is where we are. It's a cliche. Elections have consequences, and they do.
Yeah.
And so they didn't believe. They didn't want to vote for the black lady for whatever reason that you didn't want to vote for the black lady for, right?
Right.
But did you see the alternative? We are living in the alternative. And a lot of people have fucked around and found out. And quite honestly, look, I support my Latino brothers and sisters, but there were a lot of them that supported this administration. Right. And now either them or their loved ones are being deported. And so they didn't think they were going to be the ones.
Yep.
I'm the good one. That's never going to happen to me. And now it's happening. You saw oh my God, I will vote for Donald Trump. And then now they're
play that back every night. And no, I'm not.
And now they're like, oh my God, my husband was deported. Yeah.
Well, they always think the other one is the bad one. The thing that's funny is when you have enough wealth and power in America, you can make things disappear. You can remove things, like all the things that are being redacted. Like, black people invented the written language, but white people invented the eraser. They're like, we built the pyramids. No, you didn't. And now you'll see a sanitized version of what is happening. And I think the reason why people like you are particular, when I saw what happened to you, I was heartened because I knew you were able to handle it, one. But the other thing is that people are pressed into service. Like, nobody decides to do this thing. And what they do is, we're the most convenient thing. It was 4 black journalists that they decided were going to be the eye. And the thing that's perverse about it, they use the very same laws that they used to arrest Klansmen. And they have made you the face of it. And that's got to be, and I know obviously you can't have conversations because you are in jeopardy.
There are a lot of lawyers who are like, do not do this show tonight.
I will say this, you're
especially when they found out you were with me.
Right.
They're like, oh shit, no. We will handcuff you again. Yeah. You are not going on. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Where's your husband at? Where's he at? Right there. Where's he at? Yeah, there he is. Yeah. What'd you think was gonna happen when you married a black dude? What'd you think was gonna happen? He was gonna go to jail. Wasn't this whatever? I didn't know I was gonna have to use some of that wedding money to make bail. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Did you? Did you call? You called and talked to him, right?
I talked to him, man. He's a solid cat, man. But he was like, and I was like, nah, nigga, that's what happens. Black people have never. He went to jail. Yeah, that nigga went to jail. Nah, I'm not. Don't worry, Patrick. I ain't gonna fuck his money up. People do not realize that even Jesus protested in that temple. That was a protest. Which, like, Jesus turned over them tables in that temple, and that was why I thought it was a white dude. Because I was like, this nigga ain't gonna go to jail. I think that the one thing about this country, we always said things, but never had to prove it. We would say we're this beacons of liberty. We would say democracy is sacrosanct. And we were living off other people's inheritance. Now we are actually seeing who we are. And the truth of this country is that there are more people who they don't care what happens to anybody else. And I really believe this is a statement of who we are. If the economy were going good, if tariffs were working, nobody would really give a fuck about any of this. They wouldn't. And you are in the inflection point of something that is happening. So I just want to tell you that I'm honored for you to be my brother. I appreciate what you have done. Thank you. Let me wipe this out. I don't need my DNA on this shit right here. I can't.
See what I mean?
I'm not going to jail.
I wanted to tell people about our story, but I just want to sort of pick up on where you were. If we don't now, I can't tell you guys what to do. I've always been saying that you have to be willing to sacrifice something, and obviously I've sacrificed something, but I can't tell you what to do. But what's the little bit that's left of our democracy, if we don't do something now, it's gone. As you said, this is our new reality. And when people say, this isn't America, this is America.
Exactly.
This is who America is right now. And this administration does not care. They're trampling over the Bill of Rights, they're trampling over the Constitution. Look,
You got the Constitution?
I keep it.
Yeah.
Because I believe I have a pocket Constitution. You can get it on Amazon. But anyways, you know what? I'm going to get a Constitution. I'm going to put my thing on it and sell it as my merch store.
If you can sell watches and cologne.
you can, but the very First Amendment of the Constitution has the protection of what I've been doing for 30 years in it, and there's a reason that it's in the very First Amendment. Because that's, as I said in the beginning here, that's the most important one. Without that one, none of the other ones really stand up. And so they've never read the Constitution.
I think that the Constitution is fraught with a lot of conundrums, because it also says we're 3/5 human. It says that too.
Yeah.
I think that it is a bit disingenuous to blame it on elected officials because they're voted in by people who want these things to happen. There are people who are pleased with what's happening.
Well, did you see what he said? He wants to nationalize the elections.
Yeah, of course.
And they want to take over the elections in Minnesota.
Of course.
And Republicans should nationalize elections because they're all rigged. I mean, look at what's happening in Georgia right now. And you know why that is. It's Forsyth County. It's black folks.
I think that we have forgot. I think that part of that, the onus is on us as a society because nothing that is happening right now wasn't foretold. Every single thing that is happening, we knew would happen. And we're not Miss Cleo. We're just... This is what people do not seem to understand. The greatest expert on white people is black people. We know who you are. We've seen this movie before. Like, even though Melania is the new Pootie Tang. It's just white people's Pootie Tang. It's the Pootie Tang for white people.
Did you go to the movie this weekend?
Man, come on, man.
I know you were in that movie.
I did see her on the internet, though. That's nice.
Allegedly. What'd you see her doing?
I think that we are, and even us, the way we are right now, there were people who decided that they wouldn't be different, that everything would be the same, that there was no discernible difference. And obviously that both parties have their own drawbacks. But nothing is a vote. Doing nothing is saying something. And I think that they count on people being apathetic. Apathy has killed more people than anybody. And we can't just react. Like, obviously, people want to rush to your side. But this was so easily predictable. It was so easily, and even now, people are not getting the seriousness of what happened. You alluded to the fact that they are trying to nationalize elections. What people don't seem to understand is that most of the people who are in the Supreme Court were picked by presidents who didn't win the majority of the votes. So we're being literally ruled by the minority.
Yeah, the laws in this country are created by, and also under religion, you know that, right?
Right.
I'm the sponsor of my show, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, which fights for the separation of church and state and all since the 1970s. And that's really important. People don't talk about that enough, about religious nationalism and white nationalism in religion. Right. Right? And they don't discuss that a lot. And you think about all of the horrors that have happened in the black church, right? You look at what happened at Emmanuel AME Church, and right, all of those things, and the outrage on the other side is never as much as it is for if something happens in a.
Here's, we know that we were supposed to have been made in God's image, but Europeans made him in theirs. What does it say about a person that can only worship you if you look like them?
I wrote a book on religion, and I wrote a book about race in 2021. By the way, debuted #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list.
Well, it's going. Your catalog going up.
I
baby
once
boy.
I once was lost. No, the book was This Is a Fire, What I Say to My Friends About Racism. Right. And I went on The View and I said, and Meghan McCain was on there, and I said, well, the first thing I think that would get this country to change is for them to realize that Jesus isn't white. And you could hear a pin drop. But it was the truth. And where, there's a sign near where I live that says Jesus is brown. And I think if we really taught that, if you really sort of changed the image of what Jesus really looked like. Jesus was a Jew. He looked like a Jew, right? A dark-skinned Jew with curly hair. He wasn't like some white dude, like surfer.
Brass hair, feet of brass hair.
Yeah.
I think it says a lot about, I believe in God, I always have, but I just don't believe that people that say they work for him really do. Because I honestly believe that the essence of Christ is supposed to be love. And it's not supposed to be beholden to a border or a flag. When I see a church with a flag, and I know it's somewhere I don't belong. Yeah. Because he didn't have those things. Yeah. And we have co-opted him in a way, and we've polluted it in a way that makes us all I remember years ago there was a earthquake in Indonesia, and for 3 weeks this mosque had been leveled, and 3 weeks later a woman came out of the mosque, and had there been a church that had happened in, it had been all over the world, but because it happened in a religion that we're not comfortable with, then it was quiet. God don't care what you call him; he just cares that you do. And he can only, and we can only, it says a lot that we can only love a deity that we think resembles us.
But also think about this as well. If you look at what were Mary and Joseph doing? They were escaping what? Persecution?
Right.
They crossed borders.
Right.
Right?
Right.
They were immigrants, or migrants, whatever you want to call them. I guess what you could call Jesus an anchor baby.
Right.
Because that's not where he
You're
came
going to go
from.
to jail again, nigga. God damn it, Donna.
I done fucked up.
Come on, nigga. Come on now.
Can we talk about our story?
Jesus was an anchor baby.
I know. Oh, that's it's going to get him.
I think when we look at, it's so funny because if we look, the last 45 days, ICE has shot 17 people. They've killed 10, 3 of which were Americans. ICE is literally more dangerous than Compton right now. If they keep this up, they're going to be on first 48.
They like to talk about the crime rate, and since we've been to the crime rate is
right.
They've committed all the murders.
They've committed all the murders. But it is a way, and all of that, what you do is you tell America, I'm going to keep you safe from these things. They will let you do whatever you want. But they went to Minneapolis under the auspices of rooting out crime. The Somali people were involved in a daycare center. They went to go get Captain Phillips and shot a white dude. They got Captain Phillips and got Captain America. They went after the bad Somalis and got the good Samaritans. We don't. I think that what we are learning right now, and it's a very painful lesson, and I hate that you are in the linchpin of it. This could not have happened. America had to see itself. It had to see itself. We didn't change because we were inherently decent people. We changed because we couldn't bear the images we saw of ourselves. We had to see people getting beat at lunch counters. We had to see dogs get, the thing, when I watch all those black people who suffered so they could sit at the Woolworth counter, and I realized how shitty that food was, I'm like, why they do that?
They fight for that.
You died for no salt.
Did you see the thing? The guy...
It wasn't hot sauce on the table. Niggas getting their asses whipped.
There was a protester back from the '60s who said, when I sat and have you seen that? When the guy, it's a real interview. He said, when I finally tasted the food that I was fighting for, he's like, is this what we're fighting for? For this food?
This some bullshit.
But let's talk about that. I think that is the reason that they want to stop independent journalists. Because as I said in the beginning, they've neutered corporate media. They can control them in a way that eventually if it gets bad enough, they have to show the images. But when I was there was no corporate media. And when they're there, this is just what they do. Look, don't get me wrong. Let me tell you, there is still there's a vaunted role in our society for corporate media. And I think that they just have to, if they can do some self-correction, then they will be okay. But let me finish my thought here. But they're not doing it. And when I see them there, when I see them on the scene, and I used to do it, they're standing there, they get the story, they go back and they write it wherever, back at the place, wherever they're staying, or back at the satellite truck. And then they come back and they do a live shot and they go look over my shoulder, blah, 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 blah. Thank you, Bob, back to you. And then that's it. We're out there, I live stream from Minneapolis for almost 7 hours.
Right.
So I'm out there saying, here's what the protesters are doing. Let's walk this way. And then you have these folks over here. And look at ISIS over here. And this is local police over here. Oh my God, there's a skirmish right here. And people are seeing it in real time. And they're seeing the images of them beating people up in real time that you don't often get to see in corporate media.
But
and they don't want you to see that, just like because they realize what happened during the
You
civil
wouldn't
rights
have gotten to
movement.
see it because you have a mantra. Like we alluded to this earlier. We didn't always get along. And it was your mother and Jasmine Sanders.
It was you. It was you. You were mean.
Yeah. Hey, nigga, I'm not the convict right now. Hang on, baby boy. Watch your mouth, nigga. I was gonna put some money on your books. Watch your mouth. No. The truth of the matter is, I saw you a certain way, and it only took a conversation of had it not been for your mother and Jasmine, who encouraged us to have a conversation with each other, and it changed how I felt. And as a matter of fact, when it happened to you and CNN happened, I was one of the very first people who called you and have a conversation with. I was proud of the way you comported yourself then. I had never seen somebody have such a public excoriation and handle this, because we're used to seeing people being cowed and humble. But you became, there's an old saying that without a death, there can't be a resurrection. And the reason these people are here now is because this version of you is the thing you always were supposed to be. You were always supposed to be. You were always supposed to be. And that's, you were always supposed to be. They fucked around and let you to your destiny. And locked you up, too, at the same time.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. We're live weekdays at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern with new content at 2 p.m. Eastern, sometimes at 8 p.m. So follow The Don Lemon Show wherever you are: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Substack, Spotify, iHeart Radio, Apple Podcasts. We are everywhere, and we're there every day. And if you want a little more, join the Lemon community. Exclusive posts, behind the scenes, live chats. Just hit join or check the channel pages. All right, I'll see you next time.